No surprise. Overwhelming of social media comments take Heidi's side in all of this.
All right.
I mean, I'm nervous that this took her away from her judging duties on America's Got Talent.
Are you laughing because it says "speaking of Heidi's"?
No, I know.
Like
I kept
you're
seeing
like
Heidi Trump's Trump, and I was like, I'm just pretending that
you're
it's
like our
me.
Heidi expert.
Right.
I know.
But you, my dear, are 10.
Right back
I
at
don't
you.
think anybody would
You
argue
flirting
with
with
that.
me a little bit, maybe?
Maybe.
I like it.
This segment has got off to a great start.
I like it. I'm not gonna lie.
I give this segment
Bobby,
a 10.
can you go? Can you get us a drink, like a Chardonnay?
Yeah, take a break,
It's
Bobby.
just like maybe, yeah, you can go. You're actually just in the way at this point. Here's the thing. Like, okay, so Donald Trump is saying Heidi Klum is not a 10. If Heidi Klum's not a 10, I don't like.
We're all
the
negative
rest of
17.
We're the rest of us falling. I mean,
what's the genesis of this? Though? Like, I mean,
I know
why
that's
is
a random
this
thing too.
just
He's in
a
the New York
random-
Times. He's talking about I'm very good to women. I'm good to women, and
Right.
Heidi Klum, not a
sometimes
10.
I say things that are correct, but Heidi Klum's not a 10 anymore. By the
Where
way,
did
you're like,
that
what?
even
What are you even talking
come
about?
from?
And he also said this, which I found weird. He was going and talking about other women and what they look like, and then he starts to talk about his daughter, Ivanka Trump, and he goes, hey, I gotta say, she's got a pretty good body, and if I wasn't her
What?
dad,
No,
I'd
he
probably be
didn't. No, he
dating
didn't.
her.
Really?
Now, can you imagine if your dad went, yeah, Lauren's a pretty hot ticket. I mean, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd definitely be dating her. That's an odd thing for a dad
Why
to say.
is Ivanka Trump not on a poll somewhere?
That is
or-
surprising.
I mean, it's surprising. She's a very
She's making
successful-
shoes, which these are Ivanka Trump shoes that I'm wearing.
So you
You mean
are
poll,
supporting...
P-O-L-L? Is that what you mean? Why is she not on a poll?
No, a stripper pole,
Yeah.
Bobby.
Bobby,
I'm like,
I love how innocent
this
you
whole
are.
conversation that you guys are having over here, I'm just missing the whole thing.
Yes, it is amazing that Ivanka
Why is
Trump.
she not polling higher?
That's what I thought you
Bobby, you're so adorable.
She's
You
not on a
are.
poll.
Your
She's not on a
naivete
poll.
is
P-O-L-L.
absolutely adorable.
It's part of your charm. Yes.
Continue.
I don't even know where we were at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it has nothing to do with anything, really,
No.
except Heidi Klum gets to come out and show, like,
And
hey,
still,
I can
and by
be
the way,
funny.
Heidi Klum comes out and still calls herself a 9.9.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that. Like, oh well, I'm still 9.9, okay? And you're like, well, I don't know if you can call
Right.
yourself a 9.9. That's a little weird.
It
but,
is, right?
I mean, but she is not, I suppose.
It's
And who's
just
in the
it's
Trump
such a
mask? Richard Gere? Like, what's happening?
Trump.
Who is that? Who do we have any idea? It's just a
It looks like one of the
photographer.
Golden Girls.
It's just such a,
B.
it's such a
Arthur.
random comment, and it is like at some point like everyone likes him because he's sort of honest or whatever, but like there's meanness to like
There's-
so much what he
Listen,
says.
I cannot wait for him to become president and start ranking all of the world leaders. Like
Yeah,
the
right.
Prime Minister of Denmark.
Angela Merkel.
She's a 6. She's
Yes.
a 6 at best on a good day.
See how he ranks them. He's
Right.
not making any friends, by
Yeah.
the way. But sometimes I think is he being honest? Yeah, maybe. But I think sometimes he's just saying things to get a rise out of
Yeah,
people.
Of course.
Of course.
Go
Yeah, let's
on.
talk about Emile Hirsch.
Yes.
So he's behind bars. He
Talk about
pled
a
guilty
sexy
to
mugshot.
misdemeanor assault.
That is
The
a pretty
victim-
good mugshot.
Does not look like someone who is busy assaulting.
No.
He looks great.
Maybe he should have just gone to trial. The
Yeah, what do you
victim, by
s-
the way, not happy he'll serve only up to 15 days.
That's the thing I find weird about it. So this happened last January, and I think he was arrested in February, and now he's been sentenced. He was at Sundance and
Yeah, and he attacked...
had a couple drinks.
Yeah, a couple.
Few, and he attacked this Paramount studio executive. Her name's Danielle, and so he comes up. Well, I guess he was aggressively sort of
Headline.
teasing her and poking her all night. And so he comes up to her and he goes, "Why you act so tough? Why are you trying to act so tough?" And she just wanted to get away from him. One of those drunk guys, sloppy. And so
Yeah.
I'm just going to go over here, try to get away from you, go talk with my friends. Well, he didn't let her get away. He came up from behind her and he chokes her.
Right.
Then he
Chokehold.
drags her across a table and then ends up falling on the floor, and he falls on top of her. And so this whole thing happens, and then obviously they pull him off and he gets away. He has no memory of this.
Right.
Right, because he was blackout drunk. So he's like, I guess it could have happened because I don't remember it happening. And we were talking on the Heidi and Frank show this morning that it's sort of like, when people file bankruptcy, it's like you could spend, and then you file bankruptcy, and it's just clean slate, do over.
Right.
Yeah.
And now after all this happened, he's going to rehab. So it's sort of, we termed this new phrase, it's called drinkruptcy. So you can just drink and act a fool, and then you just go to rehab, and everything is
That is
fine.
the
And they're like,
solution
oh,
to
he
everything.
was sick.
Right.
He's in rehab.
It's an illness.
But how
So
many
it's
times
fine.
does that work for people? Are judges buying that? Like, oh, you don't remember? I guess I can't
I guess
charge
if you
ya.
go to rehab, then we'll be fine.
I mean,
okay,
has
I'll go to
anyone
rehab.
taken Ambien? I don't remember a lot of my life.
I saw I think it was a Nightline or 2020 where this guy took Ambien and he was eating in the middle of the night, and his wife would get up like in the morning and there would be peanut butter on the back side of the cordless telephone. He would be like buttering the telephone because he thought he was making
Were the people on
Do you
flights
mean
that assault each other?
buttering
and
the
get-
telephone? Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. Okay.
It's not a double entendre.
Yeah,
It's,
I know.
he
You
was
think
literally
with us it might be, but no.
Let's quickly talk about Taylor Swift. Her boyfriend, Calvin Harris, not happy with Zayn Malik from One Direction. There's this Twitter feud that's going on
It's
between
crazy.
the
The
two.
kids are
the
going
kids
at
and
it.
their Twitter fight.
Because Zayn
Over.
Malik did a retweet of somebody's post on Twitter that said, basically it was
Miley Cyrus.
It was
Right?
Miley Cyrus and Taylor Swift. So Taylor Swift
Right.
took her music off of Spotify because she's saying, listen, I
Right.
think I should be paid for my music. You can find my music on iTunes. And Miley Cyrus says, I got my money. You can do whatever. You can buy my music or not buy my music, but I got my house and my dogs, and that's all I need. So
and
then,
you can have it for free, basically.
which, quite frankly, I don't understand why people give their stuff away for free.
First
So
of all,
you're
you
saying,
have to pay for Spotify. It's not free.
well, I guess, but some people, if you're getting it for free, you just see ads. So and then you can have an account where
Yeah.
you either pay for it or you don't pay for
So
it.
Calvin Harris defended Taylor
Defending,
Swift.
of course, to going at Zayn Malik, and then those two sort of go at it. But I love how British guys fight because then Zayn Malik, who's 21, Calvin Harris, who's 31. Zayn Malik's calling him a grandpa,
Right.
And got about his
Don't get
basically,
your knickers in a bunch.
and careful, your dentures will fall out. And you're like, what? This is
denture
how British people fight.
See,
Like, come on, that is not
Once
gangster.
again, I was
I
confused
say
because I
so.
was like, does Calvin Harris have dentures?
And do we even wear knickers
Maybe
anymore?
it's just one
I
of those
mean, who
days.
does
I'm just
that?
kind of,
I like it when you have those days, Bobby. You're adorable.
You really are.
Now about that drink.
about that drink. I could use one.
Woo! It's been a long segment for Bobby. You're going to go do a lot of Googling right now. It's very busy. Catch Heidi, who's a 10. Dish Nation, weeknights, 6:30 and 11:30 right here on Fox 11. Also, the Heidi and Frank Show on 95.5 KLOS, live every weekday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Just to verify, is that on a scale of 1 to 10? Because sometimes I've fallen for that, and I go, thank you, and they're like, on a scale of 1 to 100, and I'm like, oh,
I'm not 8, so I actually meant 1 to 10.
thanks, Lauren.
I don't know how many times
Wow.
we've fallen.
I don't know.
I learned a lot during this
It's been
segment.
so informative on
come
so
on
many
more often.
levels.
I'd love to.
All right, everyone loves Straight Outta